Hey everyone, Mike here with Electrek, and today I'm coming to you from Wynwood in Miami, Florida, where we are testing out NIU's first ever electric kick scooter. This is the new KQi, and we're going to check it out.
The KQi3 from NIU came out of left field when they announced it. The company is better known for its electric mopeds or seated electric scooters, but they applied the same high-tech design used in their larger vehicles when they designed their first ever standing electric scooter, and it shows. There are plenty of similar performing electric scooters out there, and I've tried most of them. Ultimately, NIU's design is basically a little bit better in just about every way, and it costs a little bit less too. We'll start off with the specs. And by the way, I'm riding the Pro version of the scooter. There's also a Sport version, which is just slightly lower spec than the Pro version. For example, I can get up to 20 miles per hour on mine, while the Sport version is limited to a slightly lower 18 miles per hour. In Europe, both scooters are limited to their local max speeds. One note about the speed though, when you first get the scooter and you take it out of the box, you have to do your first 500 meters in the slowest mode before it unlocks. So I was scooting around at about 8 miles an hour for a few minutes. That's a bit annoying for seasoned riders, but it's probably a good idea for new riders, and everyone can tough it out for a couple of minutes. Alright, now back to the real specs. On the motor side of things, we've got a 350 watt continuous motor that is quite powerful, definitely more than other scooters in this class. I don't know what the peak power rating is, but it's well above 350 watts, that's for sure. NIU is known for good hill climbing ability on their seated scooters, so they were definitely going to put a good motor in their kick scooter. And that's part of why the scooter has such a big battery too, so it can supply more power to the motor. 487 watt-hours of battery is also much larger than most comparable scooters, and it even runs on a 48-volt system instead of 36 volts, which also helps provide more power. That big battery is good for up to 31 miles of range, so you can pretty much scoot for days without worrying about recharging if you have a pretty typical city commute. The scooter also folds up nice and small and weighs just 44 pounds, meaning it's easy to pick up and toss in the trunk of your car, or store it under a dorm room bed or your desk in your office. And you wouldn't know it by just looking at it at first, but despite its compact size, it's actually bigger than most budget scooters. It has a wider deck for more foot space, a wider set of handlebars for more comfortable riding, and even wider tires for better handling and safer riding. And speaking of safety, it's one of the few electric scooters in this price range with 3 brakes consisting of dual disc brakes and regenerative braking that charges the battery when you slow down. Now when it comes to the ride itself, those geometry enhancements definitely make a difference. In fact, it's usually hard for me to get my wife to join me for some scooting, but this is one of the few scooters she actually feels comfortable and safe on, meaning we can finally ride together. Except now I need to get a second one because she takes mine. When she lets me borrow it back, I really enjoy the powerful ride and the ease of handling. Now I kind of wish that NIU had included suspension in the scooter, though to be honest I'm not sure it's entirely necessary, and of course it would have added a lot of bulk and weight. As it is, I rode it through lots of gravel and other less than manicured paths, and the scooter still works great thanks to those larger tires with wider tread. And the fact that those are tubeless air-filled tires means you get the benefit of riding on air, but you have much better flat tire protection. There's also an app that's shared across NIU's other full-size scooters and lets you check your battery, range, riding distance, and even see how long your past rides were. I use the same app for my 50-mile-an-hour electric scooter from NIU, and it's great that I can switch between the two in the app. I will say that the app works better for the larger scooters because they have built-in GPS and 4G data connections, while the smaller KQi3 scooter here only has a Bluetooth connection, and so you have to manually start your tracking on your phone for the smaller scooter, while NIU's bigger scooters do it automatically. It's still leaps and bounds ahead of the competition, and for this price, you're still getting way more than you would elsewhere. Speaking of pricing, the scooter is currently on pre-sale while production is spinning up, and the promotional pricing starts at $499 and $559 for the 2 versions of the scooter. If you wait until the pre-order is over in a few weeks, the prices go up to their MSRPs of about $100 more, which is still a better deal than the competition, since all of the specs such as range, speed, etc. are a couple of clicks higher than other scooters in this class. But that's the difference between NIU and others. This is all NIU does, is building scooters. Other companies that make watches and phones may be able to build a budget scooter, but they don't have the expertise of a dedicated two-wheel vehicle manufacturer to be able to achieve these details and at this price. So hats off to NIU here. It ain't perfect, but it still blows me away by how good it is for their first standing scooter, and it's still way better than the rest.
Thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you enjoyed that review of the first ever electric kick scooter from NIU. If you did, why don't you give this video a thumbs up? And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our future electric vehicle videos. We'll see you here next time.